Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. We are going to be playing the campaign The Sword Coast in Peril, since we are no longer going to be consistently in Neverwinter. This will probably be the last-ish session that they're in Neverwinter, that the players are in Neverwinter proper, so we are changing the campaign name from Neverwinter in Peril to The Sword Coast in Peril. Welcome, everyone, to this 5th Edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign, where my players will be doing shenanigans along the Sword Coast and probably the rest of Faerun eventually. We are excited to bring you this this campaign that honestly has been one of the coolest I've ever DM'd. But yeah, I say that every time, but that's just because all of my players rock. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and go over to my my table screen so we can go ahead and introduce the players. And hello, everybody. The recording can hear you now.
Yay!
Cool.
Fuck you, Dave.
Not
Wow.
yet. Not quite yet.
Mhm.
Mhm. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna laugh. I was just like,
Okay.
yeah, no.
But yeah, welcome everybody. How is everyone this evening?
Ippy.
Just cracked open a Dr. Pepper, so I will have energy for later.
Just
Cracking
wait.
open a cold one with the
With
boys.
the boys.
I'm eating. Sorry, guys. I ate the Dr. Pepper immediately.
You
Yeah.
ate and left no crumbs.
But what about the boys?
The boy. There's more for them in the back.
Oh, okay.
You know, I
hell
hear the
yeah.
boys are back in town.
Oh my god, that's a relief.
The boys are back?
Oh,
They're
boys
back-
are back.
yeah.
The boys
they're
are
back
Yeah.
in town.
Backstreet's back.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay, wonderful. Welcome back to the table, everybody. Really happy to have everybody back. We are missing one player this evening. Eldritch will probably be with us at some point. Not sure or not, but until we have confirmation on that, welcome everybody. We're gonna have everybody introduce themselves and their characters. We're gonna go ahead and start with Crow.
You caught me as I was eating. Hold on.
There's our boy.
It's
Hold
okay.
Hold on. Let me just have a swig.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully I'm ready now.
Phenomenal.
Hi, my name is Resident Scarecrow, but please just call me Crow. Tonight I am playing Ashton, otherwise known as Ashton of Flan, otherwise known as Ashton Monk of Court, otherwise known as Ashton of the Inky Palm.
And
That last one hasn't quite
AKA.
caught on yet, but who knows? Maybe I can get that one to be popular.
Ashton Harper Recruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one too.
Ashton's just it's variants. It's Ashton variant covers at this point.
Yeah, he started out as Street Rat, and he's just been building up titles of prestige. Some people might even say that Ashton is Murph account.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Crow. We're gonna go ahead and let somebody else introduce themselves. Jess, why don't you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hey, my name is. Okay, let me. Hold on. There we
Whoa.
go. Whoa. What?
Wogue.
Whoa.
Your name is
Hi.
Hold On.
Hi, my name is Hold On. My name is Jester Void. You can call me either or. I go by he, him, or that's pronouns. Does not matter to me. You've caught me as I'm sorting through a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards I just got today. Tonight
Nerd.
I am. Tonight I am playing Rika, whose real name is much longer and much more fancy sounding, but her friends call her Rika. Smiles. She is an ASMR barbarian, and she's just here for a good time. I've thought a lot about her recently. I've added to her lore. I've made her more of a person, and I'm very excited. She goes by she, her pronouns.
Awesome. Up next, Poppy. Why don't you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hello, I am Poppy and/or Abby. You can find me on A Petite Poppy on all forms of social media, unless I forgot. I'm your tricksy little Fae friend. Yeah, we'll go with that. who may steal your names, hoard your pronouns, and steal your socks, so you have mismatched socks for the rest of your life. I use the she/her pronouns, and I am playing Emery Nordvaunt, a Dompier Wildfire Druid / Ranger, who uses they/them pronouns mostly.
Phenomenal. Up next, Huffy, why don't you introduce yourself and your character, please?
I am Miss Huffy. I'll be playing Charybdis the Shark Princess today. We use she/her pronouns, and you can find me at twitch.tv/Miss Huffy.
And patreon.com/Miss Huffy.
True.
And up next, Lynx, why don't you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Oh, saving best for last, huh? I see how it is. Hey, I'm Lynx. You can find me as Quarklinks wherever you socialize your medias and here on Twitch. Tonight, and every night, I use any pronouns. But tonight, I'll be playing a little tiefling princeling named Mithrangale Harrion Michaelis. I use a voice changer for him, so if you hear someone that's using a fancy British accent, that's me. Hi. It's me. I'm in your walls, and I use a voice changer.
Phenomenal. Okay, so I think this week what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do the recap from the dome. If I forget things, let me know.
You have my notes.
I do have your notes. I should open those up. 1 second. My brain is not firing on all cylinders tonight.
You need a link.
I give you some more cylinders so they
Yes,
can
please,
fire.
if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Gives you cones.
Okay, it's going to be 14 under the subheader session notes.
Awesome. Thank you. Alrighty. So, we kind of panning in to that morning of last session. The keep had been moved after you guys had basically saved all of Neverwinter and and defeated the wildfire druid conduit of the Feywild, Matilda. You kind of all gathered. You know what? Dyslexia is not letting me read. We're just gonna do this from the dome. So essentially, last session, you guys were doing your rest activities. You each kind of had individualized tasks that you had all picked out that you wanted to do. Starting with my brain has blanked. You know what?
Rika and Emery.
Yeah, Reek and Emery. And you guys went back to Neverwinter to talk to speak with Matilda, and kind of I believe Rika wanted to. I don't think it was apologize, but it was mostly just okay.
It was apologize.
Wanted to apologize, and Emery wanted to get kind of Matilda's perspective on things and learn about my brain has blanked. Would anyone else like to do the recap? Because my ADHD is being a bitch right this second. I'm gonna go throw some medication in my mouth.
I can
Point
run
to
it.
Links.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I got it.
I can tag. Just tag me if you need me.
Rika and Emery went over to see Matilda de Tilmarand in prison. Super fun. Let's see. Yeah, Rika apologized for being rude. And Rika was like, hey, I'm doing some reflection. I want to be nice to people and speak good.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is sweet. But Matilda's like, good luck. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so they had a little family chat, a little discussion, which was chill. And then Rika decided to go upstairs where the prison is, to talk with Jahira and Minsk and talk about Zentil Keep and trouble in the Moonsea Isles. Oh, Melvant's going to war soon. Whoopsie. Ahaha. Also, your parents are in Mithranor. They're Gucci. They're Gucci. Don't worry about it. And blah blah blah. Let's see. They offered her a job for the Harpers. They were like, "Hey, go to Baldur's Gate, please. There's some fuck shit going on down there. You wanna handle that? You wanna do that for us, please? Pretty please, bestie?" And Rico's like, "Sure, I guess. Yeah, sure." And then went to go fuck off and beat up her brother for fun. Her brother's name is Garçon, and he is helping Lady Neverember with banquet discussions as Rika finds him. And yeah, so they decided to have like a little private chat after she dragged him away from his harassment of Lady Neverember. And they talked about her horse, and he tried to punch her, and then they talked about a doppelganger issue, which we will circle back to in a moment. And Garçon was like, "Oh, same, bestie. Oh man, there's a problem here. There's something going on. It's sus." Blah blah blah, and then they kick each other's asses mutually. Yeah, and then over the course of the full rest, Rika trained with her brother. Trained in quotation marks. They beat each other up for fun, and she got a +1 to strength. Yeah, so that's fun. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Then it was Charybdis's turn, right? Yeah. Basically, Charybdis spent the full rest training with her soldiers, literally tossing ships around, like ships that would sail on the ocean. Those kinds of ships, tossing through the air, like in an arc, through the air. So, also obtained some more strength over the course of the full rest because of that. Yeah, so that's buck wild, honestly. Anyway, then we move on to Ashton, and this will bring us back to the morning of this day, actually. Back to breakfast, where some lady shows up and introduces herself as Ashton's old monastery master, Olga, the Hand of Cord. And she was just real rude. She was really mean for no reason. And Rika and Emery, who are also there at breakfast, were like, "You're rude," but like politely, because Rika's trying to be nice to people.
Well, I said it politely, and then Emery was like, I said please, but I said it with malicious intent.
Yeah. And then Ashton was like, "Actually, no, fuck you, you are being rude," and smacked her in the head and gave her lice. And then it kind of devolved into a fight, and everyone kind of basically took a turn punching this lady. Turns out,
she deserved it.
surprise, it was a doppelganger. Yeah. It's just what a way to start the day. Right over breakfast. So yeah, Rika was the one who ended up getting
breakfast.
the final strike. And Rika asked if the doppelganger had any last words, and it said, "Zentil Keep will forever stay fallen." And then Rika killed that doppelganger so good. So good. Anyway, so yeah, they recovered the gear that the doppelganger was wearing, and it turns out it was actually the stuff that the Hand of Cord wears. So that's suspicious. That's weird. So then Ashton went over to spend time training at the Cord Temple. And yeah, so he's introduced to a Monsul. Anyway, they tell him, the fancy people there at the temple tell him that the Hand of Cord has died. And Ashton assumed they were talking about the doppelganger. He was like, yeah, yeah, we killed her. Sorry about that. And then they were like, no. The doppelganger killed the hand of cord in her sleep. It wasn't, no, not you. Wasn't you. Turns out doppelgangers have been infiltrating the monastery that Ashton worked for years. So Ogla had been a doppelganger for a long time. And then they were like, also, hey, bestie, take the trial of the hand. You're a candidate for the new hand of cord. Surprise. Go to this town called Phandalin and deal with a mage there called the Black Serpent and bring him to justice. Ta-da! And then Ashton spent his full rest training with the Earthbreaker, and it's street rules fighting, y'all. So he gets some beef from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm not certain what Lyran did over the full rest. There was discussion with their patron.
Lyran spent a lot of the full rest in prayer and meditation to kind of get ready for the journey to come.
Yeah. Okay. Then it was Emery's turn. Emery stuck around with Matilda to tell Miranda in the prison after Rika left, and they talked a little bit more about Matilda's mothers, who are the pre-incarnations of Emery and Rika. I don't know if that's a word, but it is now.
I believe it actually is.
Oh, great. Cool. I wonder if I used it right.
Another one would have worked is previous incarnation.
That's 2 words, though. That's too much.
It's the
True.
compound
Too much
word.
effort.
That's the compound word of those 2 words. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So they talked about Matilda's parents and stuff and things, and your true lineage somehow places you as a conduit for the fire plane to the prime material plane. Wow, that's weird. Oh, and Bargle was like your underling and he failed you. Oh, that sucks. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and then Emery decided, hey, I mean, if you get free, it's not like my fault. It's not my problem. I'll do it, but God.
It could be my circus and my monkeys, but you have to ask.
Yeah. So eventually, Matilda Tilmarend is set free, which is fun. So, love that. Especially because Matilda seemed to express amusement at messing with Gale and taking down Leo with Call Lightning. So, fun. Yeah, so Emery spent their downtime just chatting with their weird pseudo daughter and spending time together and increased their charisma. Yeah. Yeah. And then Gale, for his downtime, decided, hey, I'm gonna go crazy actually and study so much stuff and do so many things and help Lady Neverember plan this banquet. And also, like, I'm gonna propose to my boyfriend, and do like 1.5 million other things because he's crazy. The end.
Yeah. So I think we pan in on the next morning after that. Thank you, Lynx, for the for doing the recap. I apologize.
Got you.
That my my dyslexia and my anxiety at the same time hit me like a truck. But yeah, I appreciate you. We pan in on the next morning. Not quite breakfast yet. I'm gonna kind of pick on each of you and see kind of what you do first thing in the morning. We're gonna start with Charybdis. What is Charybdis doing first thing in the morning?
So this is like the tail end of the week of downtime, right?
Yeah, this will be the morning of the, on the Majora's Mask countdown clock, it's dawn of the second day kind of deal.
Wait, dawn of the second day?
So if it's a 3-day countdown, this is the day before you guys, the day before the day you leave, essentially.
Okay, gotcha. The way you were saying it made it sound like it was day 2 of training.
Yeah, no.
So Charybdis probably still hasn't stopped training, really. She hasn't taken really any breaks. This morning she would probably be over by the shore in Neverwinter, hauling scuttled ships out of the ocean.
So
Like, first, that's the thing she's been doing first thing in the morning most days.
okay, so I think as this is happening with Charybdis, being that it is super early in the morning and you are on the like shore of Neverwinter proper, which would be like the dockyard,
Yeah.
it's a foggy mid morning, and you see a spot lantern kind of light up behind you. As a old grizzled looking dock worker kind of comes up behind Charybdis and goes, pardon me, are you the one who's
Yeah.
been getting rid of all of the old ship parts?
Yeah, cleaning up your ocean and recycling the scuttled chips. Yeah, that'd be me.
Yes. And you see him kind of reach behind him. You can't really tell what he's reaching for, but he's reaching for something. And he comes up and he opens this little brown pouch, and he starts stacking Electrum coins. And he's counting them out, and he goes, "That's 12 golds worth of Electrum. It's what me and the other dock workers could afford to pay you. Normally we don't have the resources to get up all of the shipwrecks. So this has been very helpful. We've been able to get more trade ships in because you've been getting rid of the old wrecks.
You don't have to pay me for this. I'm
But we
taking the
want to.
recycled from my. But you said you don't have a lot of resources. Wouldn't having the money help with that?
Well, while yes, it's not fair to not pay someone for their services, even if you were rendering the services free of charge. It's not right, in our opinion.
Well, if we're talking about what's right, the reason why I'm not charging isn't entirely because of charity. It's that I'm frankly loaded. I don't need more, really,
You
and
see
I don't need to.
the second you hear he hears loaded, you see him sliding it back.
Yeah, okay, good.
He's like, "Oh, you're rich. Okay."
Yeah, the golden pearls on my outfit didn't give it away.
Now I can't see that well. I'm an older man, and humans can't see that good. And when we get old, this gentleman is
probably shouldn't
probably in
have-
his 60s at this point.
They probably shouldn't have you on spotlight duty then.
Oh no. This is just so I can see in the dark. This is my personal lantern. It's a rather expensive one. I
Ah.
saved a good bit of money from my adventuring days for this lantern. I'm mostly the bursar. I keep the coin. The lighthouse man, and he'll point up, and you see as like he points up, there's a gout of flame in the top of the lighthouse as a dragonborn is lighting the lighthouse for the morning.
Oh, nice.
That's our lighthouse worker. He's really good at what he does. But me and the boys just wanted to say thank you and give you a little bit of a remuneration. I will, however, tell them that you're rich and taking it for your own gain.
Yes, that's for the best, I think.
Fantastic. Anyway, we wanted to say thank you on behalf of the dock workers of Neverwinter. And he just kind of gives you a little bow.
Don't worry about it. Let me know if there are any irreparably damaged ships in the near future that you might be willing to part with, rather than sinking them off of your coast.
I mean, we try not to sink them off of our coast. The problem is when they get caught on. You know the reef. You could swim under the water and see it. You know the big reef that kind of
Certainly.
separates the rest of the sea to Neverwinter. It's when they scrape on that. That's when they sink off the coast, and we're just like, well, that could have been better. We try to recover what we
Well.
can, but the reef kind of makes it a little hard for the bigger ships. That's why they have to go south to Baldur's Gate.
On that front, I do have some people you could talk to about that. My people make rather detailed sea maps, sea charts.
Well, yeah,
Using them, you could have a better chance of avoiding them, I believe.
Oh, it's not that. And he'll kind of pull out his little sea chart. He's an older, he's got all of the stuff on him. He's prepared, and he kind of shows it to you. And across, you see kind of across the entirety of the like basically the entirety of the continental shelf that kind of comes up to that area of the coast. There's this massive reef. Like, think the Great Barrier Reef in real life.
Mhm.
It's that big, and it comes just up to where larger like galleys and galleons could not like dock here because they would sink.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so the majority of what what happens is the larger ships. You get like people who sail in like long ships and things that come here, and then the people in larger ships like the man of wars, the galleys, the galleons will go south to Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep because they have, again, Waterdeep has deeper waters and
That makes sense.
has you know, a bigger port trade. Neverwinter is more land trade.
Well, Neverwinter has lots of rivers, doesn't it? Or is that me misremembering things?
There is a large river that's near Neverwinter, but they use that to basically expedite shipping to these other areas in the Sword Coast.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so he just kind of goes, so it's not particularly that we don't know that it's there. A lot of people do know, but the people who don't, unfortunately, don't listen to the signals from the lighthouse.
That's a shame, but at least they're providing me good training utensils.
Exactly. If you find any treasure down there, let us know, and normally we try and return it to whomever it belongs to. We could make a donation to the Golden Pearl Kingdom if you would prefer.
Ah, you recognize my kingdom.
Well, you pointed out the Golden Pearls. There's only
Certainly.
really one place to get those.
Indeed. That would be generous of you. My people would also be certainly inclined to share such things, I am sure.
And he'll nod and he'll kind of smile and go, well, I'll let you get back to your day, and I appreciate you for being willing to clean this stuff up. If you ever need a job or have anybody in need of one, let us know. We're good paying folks.
I'm glad to hear that. Wouldn't have to punch a bursar.
I would rather prefer that not happen. I haven't been punched in a long while, but these old bones ain't afraid to fight.
That was mostly a joke, sir.
Ah, okay. I can't really determine whether or not it is or not. I've been punched a few times at this job.
It's from a bard song, I believe.
Oh, yes. I remember.
The Hamilton
Yes.
Troop, I believe.
I do remember them. Very popular a few years back. Well, you folks, you have a wonderful day, and I'm gonna go back and get me a sweet roll, I think. And you see him kind of begin to walk back to the bursar's
Excellent.
office.
And she will continue hauling the galleon from under the waves out to the keep, essentially.
Phenomenal. Okay, so up next, we're gonna go with Ashton. What is Ashton doing first thing in the morning? This is kind of before anyone's gathered, before anything's really like going on. It's probably even before sunrise or right at sunrise. It's a foggy morning. What's Ashton up to today?
That is a very good question. Well, it's a little bit before sunrise. It is, nice early in the morning, foggy day, so people won't exactly see him if he decides to run around on rooftops.
Ashton doing cryptid shit. I see.
Yeah, again, running around on rooftops, really useful if you are
Yeah.
homeless and stealing from people's houses to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's a good point.
So I guess, old habits die hard. He is climbing out his window and onto the roof to do, a little bit of stretches, maybe a little bit of aerobic exercising.
So I will
Prob-
say that something that Ashton probably has to get used to now is he lives in a fucking castle.
Yeah,
So the roof of this
know.
place is really high up.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, I'm having technical
I,
difficulties.
th-
No,
I think all of us heard that robotness happen.
it'll be a second.
Test 1 2.
Right.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, good.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
But
You went
yeah,
full robot for a second
one,
there.
one thing that I will say is that Ashton will know this place is the roof of this place is really fucking high up.
Excellent. Good little bit of early morning cardio and a nice little workout. Climbing his way up to the roof.
Yeah. You get all the way to the fucking observatory, which is the maximum height of your keep is like that of a 5-story building. It's huge.
Big house.
It's a literal castle. So you're up on the top of the observatory, and you can kind of see over the entirety of Neverwinter from here. You can see out to the sea from where you are, and then far into the Neverwinter Wood, and kind of past that. If Ashton really looked hard enough, he could probably see Phandalin from here.
That sounds, honestly, like a beautiful sight. He's probably just taking in the sight for a hot minute.
Yeah, you're above the fog at this point.
Oh yeah, he's definitely happy to get this view.
You are kind of up on the top of the thing, looking as the fog begins to disperse. The beauty of like the sunrise in the morning. It's good for meditation, good for your workout.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
While meditating, he'll probably recite a couple of the mantras from, the monastery that he's picked up and act as a good way to kind of get him in a nice headspace to, exercise, get the day going with a lot of energy and vigor and excitement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Rika, what are you doing first thing this morning?
Okay. Because my breath, I just sat back down after getting up. So, I think, kind of getting used to being awake earlier in the
Mhm.
day.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Um,
Garcon had been coming and getting you at like sunrise.
Track. Knock, knock, knock on the door. Get my. So I think it's like awaking in anticipation of him being at the door.
Yeah.
But she's got plans. So I think like literally just before session we talked about getting the dowry stuff, right?
Yes.
Would I have that now, or would that be something I'd have to get?
So that would have
I
been
don't-
something that you spoke to your retainers about. So you don't technically have retainers currently aside from like Emery. I would say you could probably speak to one of the keep guards to have retrieved that for you because they are technically your servants, right?
Would I
They
have-
you can actually see the names of each of your keep guards now. I have actually given them names. They're in the retainers section under castle guards. So you
I
can
do
pick
have a
one of them.
proposition.
Uh-huh.
I do have a prep. One of my siblings, retainers,
Okay.
maybe perhaps, because like, either way they still report to the same people.
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, you could have one of your siblings retainers do it. I don't really have anything written for those particular characters.
No, yeah, it doesn't need to be a thing. It can just be something that.
Yeah, but
the
yeah,
staff.
yeah, your siblings retainers can fetch them. They would have been kind of delivered to your the retainers of the castle itself, because
Mhm.
as previously stated, I think last session, the guard are a lot more vigilant about, no, you're not allowed to come in. We don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So
Good.
I think it's probably Rena Tywin, a half elven ranger who was hired on after the battle of the Black Lake, who kind of comes to you in the morning and knocks on your door, and kind of
Yeah.
has your dowry items for you.
Yeah, I think she answers it expecting it to be Garcon, so it's like just her scrambling to put her armor on.
Yeah.
And and opening it up.
In
Opening
front
up
of
the door, like,
is a half elven woman with like ginger brown hair, a set of like leather armor, like a crossbow on her, slung around her back, long sword on her, or short sword on her hip, and in a small bundle in her arms are the dowry items. And she will kind of smile and go, "Good morning, my lady. Your dowry items came this morning."
oh, it's just you. Okay. And so I
Yes.
think she's like she stops fussing with like a belt
Yeah.
or like a loop something on her armor. She'll pick them up. Okay, cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Would you like some help with your armor? I can.
If you want, yeah.
And she'll kind of, as she hands you the thing, she'll adjust your belt for you and smile and go, "I believe 1 second, I'm just gonna grab the name. Lady Hextrues is downstairs making breakfast for when you are ready."
Yeah.
She'll smile and give you a slight bow and go, "Whatever you may need, just let me know. I know I am not the most experienced at this since you folks hired me on, but I will try my best." And she will smile and
Yeah, that's all she
dismiss
asks.
herself.
Yeah, of course. I think the servants are dismissing themselves these days. What they're gonna do next? Think.
I think
Um.
I think with her and I think the only one that's really the obedient to the letter type is Miller, and that's just because he's too old to not.
Yeah. So I think, dowry items in one hand, and y'all can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Sick. Okay, Discord's being weird. Dowry items in one hand. I think we'll grab the basket. I think that her and Emery, set up the other night.
Okay.
And then head off to Gail's room.
All right. While that is happening, we're gonna circle back, but I want to know what Emery is doing, because I know Emery does not need sleep.
I'm not entirely sure because like Ibri would have been gathering the items
Okay.
and then probably procuring things because we know we are leaving, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You know that, sir. You know you were asked to go to Athkatla. You know that
Yeah.
Ashton was asked to go to Phandalin. I'm assuming Rika told Emery that Rika has to go to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So you know that very soon you guys are leaving the city.
Yeah. If anything, it would be them, like procuring like they don't need health potions because Rika has a shelf of them.
Yes.
But like probably getting 2 sets of diamonds for Revivify to use, and then like picking up things because if they don't sleep, probably got some things for breakfast.
Okay.
Like just basically doing errands first thing in the morning.
Yeah. So something that that could be you like a thing that probably Emery would find useful as a ranger. You know that these bozos do need sleep on the road, and
Yes.
and so like a tent, like one of the big pavilion tents,
Yes.
sleeping bags, stuff like that, probably great, good to pick up. Especially being that you know that the road from like just from here to Phandalin is very long, and B, full of danger. So I think probably that too, maybe?
Yeah, probably. There's a lot of us, but maybe procuring a cart
Yeah, absolutely. You
to
could procure
to
a
at least accommodate.
yeah, you could procure a cart for travel. You could probably, with the amount of money you have, procure a rather large cart, like a. So they have carts that are meant for uh, like transporting large amounts of goods. You could probably get one of those.
Oh, cargo, yeah.
Yeah, cargo cart. That is, you get one of those that could transport the entire party, especially with
Yeah.
all the mounts you guys have.
Yeah, ideally. Just like something that, but would, in a weird thing, I want a large cart, but I want you to make it ready. Like we don't have money kind of ordeal.
Okay, so you kind of say that to this proprietor. It's a portly half orc man, and he goes, "So you want it to look beat up when you go to leave?"
Potentially so that ruffians on the road don't try to do anything.
Oh, you want to look poor? Got it,
Yes.
kids. And you see,
Yeah, have fun.
you see like a bunch of orc children kind of scurry out, and he goes, "You see the cargo cart? Go put one of the big canvases on it, and then beat it with sticks." And then you just see these children go to doing this task. He goes, "I won't charge you any extra for that. My kids will have fun with it." But he does charge you for that particular cart because it's a very large cart. It is one of the ones. It's going to be about 10 gold pieces. It's a big fucking cart.
Is it one that needs 2 mounts to pull it?
Yeah. If you're gonna put people in it, probably 3.
Okay, so I'm picturing how wide it is.
Yeah, this is a big fucking cart. Like this is like before trains. It's one of those.
Yep. Okay, so Emery
A caravan?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Emery's probably thinking about definitely going to have to get lanterns to hook onto it for night travel if we do that, and then probably getting bigger axes for the sole purpose of cutting wood.
Yes.
So like if we need to cut through like foliage, like think it's too big or anything.
Yeah.
And we don't want to burn it, cutting through and letting Charybdis and Rika go to town.
Yeah, because you don't want to use like a battle axe for that purpose. Like, while a battle axe is a good tool, there are specified axes for clearing brush. Machetes also are really good for clearing bramble, so those can also be procured relatively cheap. Same price as like a dagger. You can get a full-on machete. So like you can get tools for travel, explorers packs, things of that nature for on the cheap. Right around what you'll be losing money-wise if you're gonna get enough for like that stuff. You're probably gonna be spending like 10-15 gold pieces on gear, essentially. Okay. You're loaded, however, so it's not really yeah. But yeah, so you're able to kind of gather supplies and tools and stuff ready for the road for when you guys are ready to leave. And you're able to get your cart, and it's transported via mule to your keep.
Yeah, or Emery could theoretically wild shape to pull it.
Yeah.
And then use, because it's an item, could use the tree stride and just pop the cart the other way.
That is true. That is absolutely true. A bear probably could pull this cart by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, that other animal we had discussed you turning into.
Yes.
Absolutely are able to like pull this cart forward and to the keep without the orc having to transport it via his mules.
Yeah, especially since it's like you are a family man. I am not troubling you through going through the thicket of the woods where anything could probably jump and eat you.
Yeah.
I'll do it myself.
It was like you saw him kind of clipping on the You've seen Beauty and the Beast, so like
Yeah.
the outfit that Belle's dad had on when he was traveling
Yes.
through the woods is that and the little crossbow.
Maurice.
Yeah, Maurice. He's that and the
Yeah.
little crossbow, and he's like, oh, all right, I'll just put this back then. But yeah, so you're able to kind of to do that, and we will pan back in over on before Rika gets to the room. Gale, what are you doing this morning?
Well, I think Gail is probably working on stuff.
Okay.
I think he's in the magnificent mansion that Mordenkainen gave him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's in there fucking around.
Okay.
But, like, scientifically fucking around.
Yeah, just scientific process of how the fuck does this work?
Fucking around, following plans.
I mean, okay, he's definitely used it before. Now he probably used it as soon as he literally had a
Yeah,
chance to.
yeah,
But
exactly.
he's utilizing the space to experiment.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
So Rika, what you find as you kind of rock up to Gale's door, the door itself is different, in shape and like type. And standing in front of it is the small, tan-skinned halfling woman. It's a newer retainer of Gale's that you haven't really much interacted with. Her name is Karan. She was given to the service to Gale from Lady Neverember as a sign of kind of Melvaunt and Neverwinter's continued relationship with one another. A member of the Melvaunt like entourage that came with Alan, Gale's other older brother, was kind of transferred service into Lady Neverember's service, and this little halfling woman is kind of standing guard outside of Gale's room when you come up with the basket.
Basket and fucking
Yes, and your
dowry
dowry
gifts.
items.
Hands very full. I think she'll just cock her head a little bit, confused.
She'll smile and go, "Welcome, Lady Verikel. How may I help you?"
I think she pulls a little bit of a face at like the formalities, but doesn't say anything about it. It's like it's gonna happen when you're noble. It's just gonna happen. I was hoping to speak to Gale if he wasn't busy. I have things for him.
The young master's inside, but I can take you in. And she gives like this very warm smile. Since like Karan's not around a lot. Karan's a very busy lady, but anytime you've ever interacted with Karan, she is just the most chipper person you've ever met. That's kind of her whole deal, is that she is a very happy-go-lucky person. And this little halfling will smile and go, "Just follow me. Would you like me to take some of that for you?"
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, as long as you are, as long as you think so. And she'll smile and lead you inside. And she'll kind of she'll kind of ring a little bell and go, "Master Mithringale, Lady Verikel is here to see you."
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I don't know. Does it have like an intercom system?
I mean, imagine it
It's more like those little in older like Victorian style houses, the like there were pipe systems where you'd open one pipe and speak into it and it would come out wherever the voice would come out wherever. That's what it is.
Okay,
Just
all
like
right.
an
Well,
aristocrat.
Yeah, exactly.
the door is open then, as Gale is informed.
So, Karan will kind of smile and lead Rika inside. Please
Shall I
describe the
describe the
foyer.
foyer?
Yeah,
Yes.
please describe the foyer of the magnificent mansion for us.
Great. So, it's actually not done yet. So, the way it looks right now is a loose unstructured space. Like it's a big white void for the most part,
Liminal
except
space.
for so many, just absolutely clamorous quantities of plants and flowers bursting into life all around you. And as you look around, there are illusions and diagrams that are half finished and illustrations that have been blown up and floating in the air. And there are thousands of these flowers and leaves and plants. And they're all kind of like sequentially ordered, like in a kind of distinct path. And it seems to be in order of creation. So like he just started at one point and then just kept walking as he kept going. But
fuck.
Gale's familiar would be there as you enter. The little silver pseudo dragon that got incinerated in the fight with Bargle. You know.
I shift around the things in my arms so that I have like a hand and arm free, and I the familiar.
It is a lazy little creature. It will immediately take you up on that offer.
Yes,
Landing right on your hand. Yeah.
I put it like on my shoulder and like readjust my stuff.
Mm-hmm. It does. It has limited telepathy, so it's supposed to convey that it's supposed to lead you to Gale.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I feel like that's I'm not getting off your hand, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, fuck, sure, all right.
Yeah.
Wait. Let this little dragon lead me to where is my shell.
He instead of getting up and flying and actually leading you like Gale probably intended, it just kind of like gives you mental directions every once in a while, like left, right, forward.
You went too far, go back.
Yeah. It leads you deeper into the space, past all the plant life that Gale has created, and like as you go a little further, there's random architectural features, like giant columns that support nothing, or ornate archways that go nowhere, and staircases that lead to more stairs. Basically, the vibes here are like an intersection between a surrealist landscape painting and an area in a video game that didn't finish loading before you entered.
I think Eureka's just blinking and thinking to herself, this is a fucking nightmare. What the fuck
kind
is
of.
this shit? Where did she eventually find Gale?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
You do find Gale at the end of the Trail of Chaos.
Karan is also looking around like, what is going on? Because she's right there with you. She's still just chipper and happy, but she is confused. And she'll kind of clear her throat and go, Lord Mithrangale.
Yeah, you guys walk up on him like in the middle of concentration for a second, and like it takes him a moment to respond to either of you. And just before he does, he magics a meadow of flowers made entirely of ice into existence. And he leans down to look at them closely. And then looking over, he sees the two of you. And he smiles at you, Eureka. And he picks one of the icy roses that he created. And he comes over to you and hands it to you with a little flourish and a bow.
Oh my god.
Apologies for the wait.
No, it's fine. Okay, sorry. Can you take your familiar? She will not get off my.
You see Karan kind of reach up and take the familiar and go, I will see myself out if I can find the way out. And she'll begin wandering into the middle of the unloaded PS2
actually,
game.
Corin, wait just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gale snaps his fingers and another door appears.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And she'll walk out and shut it.
Yes, it is a bit of a walk. Sorry again.
You're okay.
Kind of.
Thank you.
Interesting sort of setup you have going on here.
Okay, I've just been perfecting my illusion work. It's obviously nothing is done yet, and I haven't even begun to work on the floor plan for the quote-unquote mansion. But hey, what do you think?
Hey.
Flowers?
Hey.
Do you think
Hey.
Does it
They
look accurate?
They look very good. They look very pretty. She'll take the flower he offered her, and just shove it somewhere in her hair. It's thick curly hair. It's not fucking going anywhere, baby. It's staying where she put it. Um,
It will not
um
last outside of the mansion area, but it does look very nice on you.
Thank you. It looks really nice. For what you've got so far. I've got a couple of things here for you.
Oh, of course.
And he purifies a table. It's probably the kitchen table from the keep. Just the whole thing clonking to the
Big,
floor.
huge, long table.
Jesus Christ. Okay. She will set down her various items and take a big breath. So I know last night was a lot. However, comma.
I think technically wasn't it the morning before?
No, it was that night.
Oh, okay.
That was the
Anyway,
last thing that
continue.
happened right before you guys went to bed.
Continue.
So I know it was a lot. However, I was sitting with this, and she will pick up the basket, which, let me pull it up. Let me pull up my description. Hello, God, is that you? Where is it? Not that one. It is this one. Okay. All of these items are neatly decorated woven basket with white tulips threaded in them. There is a note attached that when you read it says, "For the record, I do not hate you." It's signed by Emery. I am me describing this for the players and also for the audience. There is a bottle, however you would picture, the bottle of endless coffee. But
Do you want me to
yes,
to do it? Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
The basket I imagine is a very deep dark brown with white tulips that are threaded in the handle of the basket. Sitting on top of what looks to be a folded up blanket / hoodie is a small little candle with engravings of, I would say, divine practice on the side. A small little tea kettle that is enchanted with because Gale's smart, wizardly, knows this stuff.
Of course.
Is it very fine, kind of coppery tea kettle that has a reoccurring enchantment embedded into the sides as filigree designs, and then a small little case that, if opened, will reveal a very fancy little quill, which Belle did allow it. It does change colors for you.
Yeah.
Yay.
For brevity's sake, for magical items, Gale gets a Snuggie to keep him warm.
Mhm.
Of course.
A tea kettle that has never-ending tea that is imported from what used to be Zental Keep to remind Gale of happier times when he visited Rika. A candle that has the Calm Emotion spell enchanted into it to relieve the stress that he gains. And then a quill that can write in different colors, different colors of inks, can write invisible, and has a command word where you can show people what you've written. So very illusory script enchanted into a quill pen that just changes colors, and it never runs out of ink.
Hell
So
yeah.
it's perfect for his spell scribing.
Yeah,
Aw,
actually.
man.
That means no one can steal your spells.
They'll just open a blank book.
Exactly.
Okay. So Rika hands him this basket.
She do hand him the basket.
She do hand him the basket. He looks through it with an appreciative expression. He's a diplomat. He's very good at making the appropriate faces and the appropriate sounds of
Um,
appreciation when he's given a gift. So he
insight on
does
the
all of that.
insight on the blurbo.
You want to insight his reaction to receiving the present?
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a either deception or persuasion check.
I mean, hold on. You just. Oh.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll at advantage. I'm sorry.
That's funny though, because I'm pretty sure you do get advantage on inciting against Gale because you two are
Mhm.
affianced.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm
So
not
what
even
is
gonna try
the-
and roll
yeah.
anything.
So what do you think Rika gets with a 25 natural 20?
With a critical success, you can tell. Gale thinks these are from you,
No, there's the
and he's
the note is signed.
yeah. Gale, he sees the note, and then he with your critical perception, he just kind of looks up at you, and there's the tiniest quirk of his eyebrow that's like, oh yeah, that's a nice touch. He really does seem to appreciate the items and the gesture that it is intended with, but he thinks that this was you.
I think she sighs. It's not from me. It's from Emery.
He sets it down.
Okay.
I did not think it was. It is
don't
very
lie to me.
appreciated.
Lie to me.
Mm,
That sounds good on you.
you know me too well. All right, I did think it was from you.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful. I suspect you at least influenced this.
I did help with it, yes.
That is what I thought.
I believe Rika would also know. Leo also helped with this because
yeah.
Emery went to Leo to do this.
Yeah. Also, your boyfriend helped us set this up.
Mhm.
Fiance?
Boyfriend.
One
I'm
of
not
those?
certain. It is difficult to put words to things.
Yeah. Funny how it's easier just to not label it.
Easier, vexing. I know I've already apologized profusely for several minutes on end, but I still feel as though I should again. To both of you, I'm sorry I said those tactless things, and I will strive to be more mindful in the future.
Well, honey, listen. You are okay. What's happened has happened. We found a solution, and that's all that matters.
A solution?
Yeah, to the situation that happened. Figured out. Yeah. Gale was informed, right?
About the different area to
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe Gale
Yeah.
also came up with a thing.
Yeah, Gale has come up with a new idea, but he wasn't aware that Rika was aware of a definite change in plans, hence his confusion. That's all.
Yeah. I believe being involved in it, she was made aware of it at some point.
I think it was
Okay.
the way you became aware, Rika, was the fact that you had a between sessions chat with Solana.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I talked to Solana earlier
Oh,
at some point.
right, yes. That would explain that. Yes, so, yes, I suppose a solution was found, but I still let myself relax too thoroughly and lose too much decorum, even if I did only think I was talking to a lizard. Still, I
It's okay.
lapsed.
You are okay. I promise.
Mm.
But I wanted to bring you this. In regards to that, it was me, Emery, Leo, Solana also helped. Well, I'm mainly just here to deliver the thing, to be
Oh,
honest.
thank you for that, and express my thanks as well to everyone else who participated. But it's very thoughtful and appreciated, but not necessary. Henry was Right. I was thinking selfishly,
I mean,
and
it's still something that is a very nice gesture.
no, through my inattentiveness, I offended Emery on multiple counts. I can hardly blame them for their trepidation at my proposal between the destruction Blackstaff wrought on a whim and the crimes against native Boggle conducted. It is only natural that they would be wary
Mhm.
of wizardly hubris.
Right.
I mean, I'm certain you are more than aware magic can be a great force for good, but it can also do much harm and must therefore be wielded
I
with
mean-
caution and consideration.
I mean, I do not know that much about magic. Do you know what it does? And she kind of gets briefly that 1,000-yard stare, but shakes it off.
It's the
Um,
the wartime flashbacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had not
Um,
focused enough on the feelings of you and your partner in this matter. We've both been through so much. I had not
I
thought
mean-
to try and seek your blessings, and that in neglecting to do so, I have failed you both, and for that I
You're-
am sorry.
You're only human. A lot of it, we're people, and people make mistakes. It happens.
True. You know me, you know I sometimes get so fixated on my goals that other things fall to the wayside.
I think it just pinches your cheeks a little bit about it. Well, so I came to deliver this to you, right? However, I also brought you something else. And I think she'll turn back to the table, and sort of like lay out the objects so they're not in just like one inconspicuous pile.
He's leaning over your
It's
shoulder
like
a little
a
bit.
it was like a very well made up bundle. Each of them have it's
Yeah.
like I don't know if you've ever seen like a lockpick kit, but like when you open it up, it like unfolds. It's got little slots for everything. That's kind of what
Yeah.
this is in.
Yeah. And she will fold it out. And there are two sword-shaped objects, and like a
Sword-shaped objects.
sword weapon-shaped objects. Okay, fight me.
Mm-hmm. Will.
Um, and a little pendant for like a necklace, perhaps, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's peeking over your shoulder like a curious cat.
What are these?
I owe you a dowry. So,
You do not owe me anything.
well, I wanted to give you one anyway. And
Technically, by the
so I
traditions
have.
of Xanthal Keep, Rika does in fact owe you a dowry.
Yeah, Gail's just gonna Gail's
Yeah.
just gonna Gail about it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I want to give these. Also, I do owe you a dowry. I do follow my own laws, even if
Technically, I suppose, yes. However, it could have just been a formalized gesture. This is
I can take
Thank
them back. Um,
All right. Yeah, sure. Then he'll take a step closer and inspect the items.
one of them bites you, you die.
Ah, rip.
That's the shit.
I touch them with my hand. Which one?
So I will say, for just a moment, I did blip out. I missed the last 3 minutes of that. My apologies. My internet is being mean.
It's okay. Gail and Rika going back and forth about.
Rika has given Gail dowry items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which dowry item do you think Gale goes for first?
Well, depends on what's there. It was
Uh,
2 sword-shaped items and a pendant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you would go for one of the sword-shaped items.
Okay, so he either goes to sword 1 or sword 2.
Should I roll for it?
Yeah,
Sure.
flip a coin. Let's flip a coin.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna roll a d4 because I forget how to roll a d2. So, even one of them left the other one. Hey.
Even the first sword, odd the second sword.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even. Sword 1.
It is. Does he pull it out of the sheath?
Absolutely. Not like all the way, but enough to look at the blade and check it out.
Yeah. Let me look at it.
Gil knows how to handle a sword. He's not gonna carelessly whip this thing out and swing it around.
He gonna whip that thing out.
Ah, hell no.
It is a kind of gnarly looking sword with like some weird energy coming off of it.
Define gnarly.
It's called the Sword of Life Stealing.
Oh.
It's called the Sword of Life Stealing.
Okay.
Definitely.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey DM, what would Gale discern about this gnarly looking sword?
Roll Arcana for me.
Okie dokie. 26.
Okay. So, Gale, you can kind of you can discern that this sword is full of like basically the essence that of like a vampire or something that would feed on the life essence of another and give life essence back to the wielder. That's what this sword does. It is not inherently evil magic, but often used for to gain ill-gottenly, essentially. It is not a sword one is often seen carrying, but it is from time to time used for the protection of others, specifically those who are not very proficient in fighting, or people who are reckless in their combat style.
Yeah, so he gives this sword a quick gander. She's again turns to Rika, like bows slightly, like
Thank you for this weapon. What are you trying to say with it?
I am a theme through like at least two of those objects is you keep getting hurt in combat. So I found things that might help you either gain health or not, just fall when you get hurt.
I have yet to fall in a fight.
And I'd like to keep that from happening.
Meanwhile, Rika, how many times have you fallen in combat?
yeah, Rika.
That's different. It's a different thing.
I mean, there's that one time, however, Jess, that Rika did have that pendant activate, if you recall.
The nearly fatal blow.
Yeah, I think she just gives you a look.
I think he ignores the look, and he's mildly amused by all of this. This is silly. This is fun to him. Like, hey, Rika cares about me. That's cute. She's given me a baby sword for babies. That's slightly evil, but you know what? Her heart's in the right place.
She's
Not evil, but
intended
it's definitely for babies.
She looks very excited to give you these things.
Yeah.
Like
No, he appreciates it genuinely. He really does. But he's like, she doesn't think I can hold my own in a fight.
So what's he doing right now? What's he saying?
He's just he's looking at it appreciatively, and like you can tell the rest of that with your previous critical success insight. But like his face, his demeanor is all very appreciative, and like he does genuinely appreciate that you care and that you thought about him when you picked out these things, regardless of what they are. You could have given him a rock and he would have been pleased as punch. But, he does move on to the next sword.
Yeah, but I picked it because I thought it would help you at least have a little more health in battle. Should you choose to use it,
I may not wield it all the time because of the necromantic aura, but it will most certainly come in use. Thank you.
Look, if anyone says anything about it, they can talk to my fist or my axe.
Or the sword itself.
True. Both of you assume that I'd let you get there first.
I'm a bit faster unless you fly. If you're flying, you can outpace nearly anyone.
Me scroll. Okay. What is he looking at next?
The next sword, obviously. Gotta go for the sword.
It is a very, as opposed to the really gnarly looking one, it's very pretty. It's doesn't say exactly like what kind of sword it is. I imagine it.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
kind of,
what kind of sword was the last one too?
I don't know. That one's up to God.
So
Hey God.
here's the thing. It is, I do not believe, specified on the magic.
No, it says any sword.
Yeah, so Gale usually, and kind of, you would know this, Rika, fan of rapiers.
Yeah.
It's probably one of those. It's kind of it's a one that, you know, or a light weapon, because, like a short sword, because that can be used in combination with another short sword.
Yeah, so I think that one, the necrotic one, is a short sword. This next one is a very delicate, looks like it was carved, like made very lovingly, like a rapier. Just chill in there.
Okay. Well, yeah, he goes to pick it up and inspect it the same way as the first.
Yeah.
DM, do I need to
yeah,
roll another
roll
Arcana? Aw, man.
I love that you can just ask her what it is.
Yeah, that is
He's
the
like,
other thing.
I will figure it myself out.
No, he's a nerd. He's gonna see if he can suss it out himself.
Yeah,
Good.
he has a
Don't let Rika
plus
sound
7
too
to
smart.
Arcana.
Yeah, what's that 21 taste like,
What tastes like? Tastes like bozo.
1 second. Just gonna jump over here so I can. Okay, so this is a dancing sword, which basically, this sword will it can go into the air, and you speak a command word, and the sword begins to hover and fly and can attack on its own, essentially.
That's so cool. Gale's face says the same thing. But not his mouth. His face says it.
Yeah, you see this nerd's eyes light up like a fucking Christmas tree.
You see this nerd's eyes.
We see.
Indeed.
We see them.
Yeah, your eyes light up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah. A Christmas tree that was also lit on fire because he's so excited.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he actually, he kind of, wiggles a little bit. Tiniest wiggle of excitement as he turns to you with the sword in his hands, and he goes,
Rika, is this a dancing sword?
I believe so. That's what they told me it was.
These can be wielded without the use of hands. That's so fascinating.
Yeah, I thought you'd like it.
I very much do. I like all of them, although I've yet to look at the last one yet. But, I love magic things. They're so fascinating.
and he's just standing there, admiring this sword from several more angles, excitedly, without speaking, because he's so excited. And eventually, he puts it down. And he goes to look at the last item, which is, what you said, a pretty pendant.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to nerd out on that?
You know what? Why don't you tell me what it looks like first, and then I'll nerd out on it.
I think it's okay. So I don't quite I think these things typically like present as like a pendant sort of.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a little like engraved heart in the middle of it.
In the middle of what?
The pendant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like engraved on the outside.
Do you know what materials you wanted it to be made out of? Anything like that?
I'm not picky.
Typically, the parapet of health comes in it comes in brass, and that is because brass as a material is antibacterial in nature. Like,
Cool.
that's a
All right.
real life fact, is that the reason that when you touch brass knobs and copper and stuff, when your hand smells the way it does, is because it is killing the germs on your hand.
So with a 26 roll in Arcana,
Yeah, you could get this is a parapet of health, that it is a rather powerful magical item that makes you immune to disease. This would have been really, really helpful when you were coming over here and got the Wailing Death, and then also when you were invading the Neverdeath Graveyard and got the Spell Plague.
Yeah. So Gale looks at this item and then he thinks, and he thinks some more, and like his hand started on his chin and it is now crept up to like just below his nose as he starts to get a little embarrassed looking at it. He's a little bit redder than usual, but he does clear his throat, and I think he goes to put it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll help you if you want.
Yeah, absolutely help him with it because he's got long hair.
Thank you. This will definitely come in handy. It was very thoughtful, and it will save many people, including you, from much worry.
I just want you to be safe. I want you to be alive, and I want you to be not wounded.
Yeah. Yes, your gifts are making that abundantly clear. I've been fine, other than briefly catching the Wailing Death and
other
almost
than
catching
being
Spell
sick,
Plague.
other than being sick, other than almost
Yes.
being killed on several occasions.
We have all been in peril. It's natural.
Mm-hmm. But I can do something to stop that from happening.
Yes, and you're, again, very thoughtful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I love you very much.
And I you.
That's sort of what all I came here to do. They're starting breakfast up soon, so you might want to stop focusing on this long enough to eat something. When did you sleep last? She looks at you very sharply.
I slept up until a couple of hours ago.
Mm-hmm. How long did you sleep?
More than a couple of hours.
How many hours?
Several.
I would like. I'm gonna ask. I will ask Leo how many hours you sleep if you do not tell me.
He does not sleep in the same room as me. How would he know?
Then I'll just tell him you didn't sleep enough, and then I'll send him your direction.
No, don't do that. He
I
fusses
will.
and frets so.
I'll do it.
Actually, Rika, a moment.
And Gale, he waves his hand again, and first he makes a bench, and then he makes a different bench, and then he makes a fountain, and then he makes a tree, and then eventually he makes a couch.
Mhm.
Listen,
She's just like standing there leaning up against a wall.
there's no, you know what? Actually, yeah, there is just a wall.
Yeah, it's just a singular wall that just appears so you can lean against it.
Yeah. You know what? It's a brick wall that looks like it should be underneath a bridge.
Wonderful.
Has the Acme logo on it?
So, are you leaving here willingly, or am I carrying you out to have breakfast?
We can leave, but you know, I can be a little selfish sometimes, and I would like to steal more of your time.
Mm-hmm. How much more of my time are you stealing?
3 hours.
I love you so much.
2.
1.5.
4.
No, we're going the other way.
How about 1?
Okay. Can I move for one more? Or then we do need to go get breakfast.
All right.
Otherwise, I will starve to death.
You won't starve to death.
Oh no, I'm already feeling faint. However, will I last more than 2 hours without breakfast?
Technically, I can create food within here as well.
But you should also socialize with everyone else.
It's only chicken, though.
I suppose.
You can only make
Only
chicken.
chicken?
In here. Yep.
You can only make
Continuing that running gag from Critical Role. Yep.
What?
Magnificent Mansion can only make chicken.
That's so dumb. That's so stupid.
I think Rika just sits and watches him work for like the next hour before dragging him out.
Yeah, he does just kind of work for the next hour, but after a while I think he does also start just saying random shit to you that seems unprompted and related to nothing. And like eventually with that previous critical success insight, it's you can tell he's still thinking about the conversation from earlier and the conversation from last night. And he's still doing his Gale thing about it where he's thinking too much, you know?
I think when it reaches peak, he's thinking too much. She just walks over and
Hold
like
on. You can tell when it reaches peak thinking too much. Because, like, okay. He does a pretty good job most of the time of appearing unfazed, but like Rika can tell. And Leo can tell. And probably a few other people who've gotten more familiar with him now. But it becomes very obvious in this space because the flowers around the vicinity have started to mutate weird.
Yeah, I think she, at that point, she just walks over to him, grabs him gently by his face, and like she'll give him a little kiss, as a stun this man out of overthinking.
Yeah, that shuts him up immediately. Soft little that's my girlfriend, that's my fiance kind of face.
I think you're thinking too much. Again.
How can one think too much when thinking is all that brains are intended for?
There's a reasonable amount of thinking, and then there's burying yourself in all of the thinking, so that it starts to affect you in a negative way.
I suppose. I've just been thinking, I suppose, as you put it, too much about the potential for disaster, and Rika, I can't help but worry about the position you'll be left in if anything happened to me. That's why I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Wanted to do what?
With the proposal, the monument to my wizardly hubris, I thought a permanent fixture on the landscape might be a nice reminder to you, to Leo, to the world that I was here at all. So, yes, it was, in the end, a little selfish. But as I said, I can be a little sometimes.
I can have Gale keep going.
Yeah, I believe...
No, muted because of
No, I can have Gale keep going. I can. I will.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that that the space itself, as you are kind of going through these like feelings and thoughts, the chaos of like how you had it described like the flowers mutating begin to
Mhm.
slowly begin like calm back to what they were as you kind of work through as Gale works through his thoughts and his kind of in the moment like fears that he was
Mhm.
having.
Well, I think she'll just once again hold him by his face, pinch his cheeks just a little bit. Well, number one, nothing. I love you. I love you so much. Do you know how many people you have around you that are specifically here so that you don't go down?
3.
Mm-hmm. Mm. But also, they are incredibly strong people. They're incredibly strong, and you worry. I love you. I love you so much, and it's very. I'm still learning how to properly say things good and nice. Words
There you
hard
go.
is what I am
My
trying
love,
to
you've
get
always
across.
been good with words. You've always said exactly what I needed at the right time. No
You do
matter
not
how
need to.
short, they are always sweet.
You do not need to worry about what's going to happen if something happens to you. I promise. God forbid something.
Gale's he looked comforted by that, but
Mhm.
like you can tell he's not gonna not worry about it.
Yeah, I know you're not going to not worry about it. I just need you to take that worry down a couple levels. Down
Very well.
down a lot of levels. But it's, and I feel like at this point it's reached almost the end of the hour.
Perhaps editing my will and wait again.
Yeah, leave that alone, or I'm gonna take the hand that keeps writing it.
Well, I mean, I did edit it earlier, but then I was
And
thinking of
saying-
editing it again to include Emery.
Rika just
Because
picks
I was-
you up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at this moment, there is a voice from the outside through the little rotophone or whatever it's called, and it's Leo, and it's Rika, Master Mithrangale. It's breakfast time. Solana is calling everyone for food.
All right. Yeah.
Gale snaps his fingers again, and the door reappears in the same spot that it was before for Karan.
She is bridal carrying him, by the way.
Great,
Phenomenal.
yeah. It's a different door, by the way.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
she's bridal carrying him out of the door and to the
Hey,
hallway.
he doesn't protest. Carrying him over the threshold, gay.
Phenomenal. But yeah, I think everybody here is given kind of the some kind of magical message, or one of the retainers of the castle, your servants, could have come and get you. Emery, I think at this point it would be right as you were coming back from getting your cart and all of the supplies. So I think
Okay.
now would be the time where everybody gathers for breakfast as a party.
Yeah.
And so you guys are able to kind of come together at the breakfast table, and Solana's kind of set out this massive rather beautiful like breakfast. It's well presented. It's like for each of you there are different like styles of meal that you guys would enjoy, kind of as she does most mornings. And in the center of the table itself is a kind of impromptu, like it kind of looks like a holy symbol, but not at the same time. Like you know how there's the the like almost Christmas has co-opted some symbols from like religions and stuff as like just Christmas symbols. there is a symbol very similar to the symbol of Pelor, the god of the sun, just kind of sitting in the center of the table. And the dining hall itself seems to be decorated in a very festive manner.
Wow.
So who do we think is first to the dining hall?
Probably not Gale and Rika.
Yeah.
How long would you say it takes to walk to the castle from Neverwinter?
I think it would probably be easier for you to swim. To the
Yeah, to swim.
So with your swim speed, because you are, you're a shark,
Yeah.
2-3 hours.
Okay. She would have woken up quite early, like probably before dawn itself.
Yeah.
So maybe Charybdis, unless Ashton's here.
Yeah, I think.
Ashton is on the roof of the castle. I guess it's just a question of do we have him slow fall? Just
Slow fall and get
They're
there at
not-
the same time as Charybdis.
yeah. Does he either slow fall from the roof to the ground, landing with a lot of grace, or does he climb down?
Pull a Hunchback of Notre Dame and slide down the castle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible.
That's what I think it is. I think it's Ashton hears food, and it's the very food motivated formerly homeless man sliding down the castle.
Then I think Ashton probably shows up before, but Ashton probably also sees Charybdis' men getting pelted with ships.
Yeah. it's you're able to see kind of over the wall ship being hurtled through the air, like ship pieces being hurtled through the air at the Triton. You're like, "Oh, the boss is awake."
Yeah. Oh god.
So I believe it would probably be Ashton, then Charybdis, and then maybe Emery, we think.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So yeah, Ashton, Charybdis, Emery, and then Gale and Rika and like Leo and the retainers, other than the like castle guard.
The retinue squad.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of everybody's at the table, eating and having the meal has been presented. What do you guys do? Do you guys talk about anything while you're kind of at breakfast? Are you guys gonna? Do you guys want to talk about like preparations for leaving or anything like that?
I mean, I think preparations for leaving is a good idea, and like what to expect on the road ahead.
Yeah, because this would also be a good idea to kind of tell each other the plot threads that you guys got, because I don't think anybody's done that yet.
I think, like, first off the bat, Gale is going to thank Emery for the basket. But yeah, we can talk about plot points.
Yeah. We can start there. If you would like to have that conversation with Emery.
Sure, yeah, all right. So Rika puts Gale down in his little chair,
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah, it's
No, she let him walk in. She let him walk in.
How considerate of her to let him have his dignity.
phenomenal.
Yeah, he'll walk in then, like a normal person. Go up to Emery, bow slightly, and
Thank you, Emery, for your gift. It's very appreciated. And again, I would like to apologize again for the words exchanged and my part in them.
I think Emery kind of quirks a brow at your genuine like politeness of like bowing, and they're like, and then tries to stop you. And like, you're fine. I appreciate the apology, and I'm sorry for being a little harsh on you.
No, you were
I-
correct. You were. But now I have a different plan in mind, one that hopefully will be much more in line with nature. We can discuss the specifics later.
Oh yes, Solana wanted me to help you with some things of that nature if you are so inclined. But I hope the gifts are well suited for you, I guess.
Tea,
I
a
s-
blanket, and a candle. It's like you're sending a gift to someone who's in hospital. Which I suppose I should take means you want me to take care of myself, which I appreciate.
the general message from everyone who I've talked to is concerned for your general well-being. And also it's more of coziness, security, reminder of happier times when things are down, and to continue your weird nerd hobbies.
My weird nerd hobbies. How aptly put. Aptly
You
put
sign
indeed.
a lot of paperwork that
I do
most of
indeed.
which
That
is not.
quilt will be so immensely helpful, actually. That was inspired. Cannot believe I had not thought to get myself one.
If you attune to it, it does change colors beyond invisibility.
Oh, he looks excited at that. And he immediately like goes to rummage around in his stuff to see if he can find it again so he can attune faster.
Yep. All right. That is very good to know. Thank you. We should have breakfast and discuss the journey ahead.
Yes. Actually, so I don't entirely know what all everyone else has going on. But at some point in our travels, we should find ourselves near Baldur's Gate, maybe. They have a bit of a doppelganger, which I was tasked with helping solve down that direction.
All right. So taking out some doppelgangers. That is interesting. There was one that showed up the other day, wasn't there? Right. I
Yeah.
still need to interrogate that corpse if possible.
Probably before we leave.
Yes, that would be wise.
Solano will kind of go, I have him on ice.
Perfect.
That's a very normal reaction.
On ice. So dumb.
Mm-hmm. It's trying to be subtle about the fact that she is a nearly ancient silver dragon. Very bad at it.
I just back in character.
On ice. Yes, that is efficient. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So that is in Baldur's Gate, which is further south. Then yes. Near Waterdeep there is a temple of Dark Moon. I have been asked by parties undisclosed to investigate a missing persons case of sorts. Well, more like the likely eradication of a cult. So we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So doppelgangers, cult. What fun!
Anyone else have any tasks we need to do along the way?
I do believe I'll also be heading in the direction of Waterdeep at some point.
Oh.
What do you have down there?
I believe it's a diplomatic endeavor with my sister.
Oh.
A diplomatic endeavor. Must you be so vague?
Unfortunately, yeah, I don't really remember anything else.
So it is about that at that point in time when there's a knock on the door of the dining hall. Most people don't knock on the door of the dining hall. Typically, it's just your guards.
Most people break in, yeah.
Yeah, typically it's just your guards that knock. And they will wait till they are told they can enter. But I assume someone eventually tells them they can.
Yeah.
Probably one of Gale's many retainers.
Yeah, and walking into the room actually is someone kind of familiar to Rika. If you'll recall, there was a Zentarum agent that you and Charybdis talked to at a bar.
Mm-hmm.
That then Charybdis and I believe Emery helped rescue from said bar to get away from the Zentarum.
Right.
So she currently works at your castle.
Mm-hmm.
She is this very tall orcish woman. I have retconned her from being a Goliath because I just use Goliaths way too often. Tall orc woman, gray skin, long black hair, kind of shaved on one side, warhammer on her back, and she will approach Charybdis and kind of lean down into Charybdis's ear and hand Charybdis a letter that essentially and go, Lady Charybdis, that this came urgent from Lord Blackstaff, and then she will hand Charybdis the letter.
Oh, thank you. And she'll take it and read it.
In the letter, it reads as follows: My dearest Charybdis, updates from the city of Waterdeep. Your sister has been captured by Xanathar the Beholder. It is imperative that you come down here and depose him as soon as you are able.
Oh, I'm never gonna let her live that down.
And in the it says, signed, your beloved Kelvin Blackstaff. Please hurry. I need someone to kill this fucking beholder. Heart, heart, heart.
Okay. All right. I guess it's a little bit more urgent than I had expected. I thought it was more signing papers and crap like that, but it seems that there is a hostile beholder in the area.
A beholder.
It had a name, and I just read it, but it immediately left my head, so I can't
Xanathar.
repeat it. Okay, Xanathar.
Xanathar.
Yeah, I think that's a famous one. Yeah.
You could say so, yes.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the most well-known ones. Yeah.
So I should not mention that I have never heard of them. He
No, you're
said,
fine.
lying through his teeth.
You're fine, honestly. If the beholder knew that you knew of them, it would be a huge compliment to them, and I think it's probably for the best that they feel insulted that you don't know about them.
Good to know.
Only because I think that's hilarious. Speaking of hilarious, do you know my sister Scylla?
Vaguely aware, I believe.
Gale,
Six
She and
heads,
I met.
bunch of hellhounds and such.
I believe
Mhm.
Gale has met Scylla. I believe he is the
Yeah.
only one of you that has.
Yeah, they
Married
signed
to some
paperwork
devil.
together while he was crazy.
Seems she got captured. When we get her back, please feel free to make fun of her for that.
Oh dear. Is she in the clutches of Xanathar?
I believe so. Yes.
And it seems we are up against the entirety of the Thieves Guild of Waterdeep.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It will have to be.
This is also technically an active war on the Golden Pearl Kingdom, just so you're aware.
Yes, it will have to be alright because this is, again, an act of war. Essentially.
Shit! I gotta actually call in more troops for once. That'll be interesting.
You may. It depends on the approach you wish to take.
True.
Oh, we could do an espionage angle.
Would it be
Granted,
fair
I'm
to say
not-
that? Sorry. Would it be fair to say that the Huntress of my kingdom was the one doing espionage until now?
No, so basically what Scylla was doing, and you were kind of informed of what Scylla was doing, she was attempting to negotiate with Xanathar for basically to have part of the Thieves Guild of Waterdeep work for the Thieves Guild of the Golden Pearl, but also, your sister, and anybody else who knows kind of Xanathar lore will understand why this is a bad thing in a little bit, as soon as I say it. She really hates seeing domesticated fish.
Oh.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So-
can speak to fish naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would create problems.
So she kidnapped his goldfish,
Oh no.
That's
and he turned her
hilarious.
to stone.
Oh no.
Does it detail that she was turned to stone by chance?
No, Kelvin does not know, because you can't scry into Xanathar's lair.
That's fair.
I think, agreeing on Emery's angle, like getting in without fighting all of the guild could be good, and then figuring your way out, which shouldn't.
I only say this because I probably could find some form of a leeway to get in and talk to some members.
I also agree that a smaller operation may be most wise in this case because Waterdeep Thieves Guild is not small and they have many powerful individuals within their ranks as far as I'm aware.
Not to mention, you could probably piss off any of the other factions while we're at it if you are waging a whole entire war.
Waterdavian politics are complicated.
I'm not
So-
so familiar. What is it like?
It's something I generally prefer to avoid when possible. But
There's
yes,
just a tyranny of factions that'll work together upon a sort of blank agreement that they don't mess with each other, and if you try to, take out one, you're gonna mess up the system a little bit.
Non-competition agreements.
Yes.
Interesting.
Charybdis
So this
was
is like a
formerly-
late-stage capitalism type nation.
well, it's also very difficult because the Lord's Helm is entirely anonymous. Well,
Mhm.
supposedly there are some who are. They make it a game of trying to discover the Lord's identities, which is it's all very complicated and difficult to maneuver because there's so much falsehood spread around, and it's giving me a headache just thinking about
I
it.
will say, before you get too much of a headache about it, I am not a diplomatic person, and for them to have reached out to me means that diplomacy has failed. And that is why
Clearly.
they have Scylla to begin with.
Yes.
So for me to handle things diplomatic here would be not ideal. We can do things as a strike team, because I have always been down for that kind of thing, and subterfuge is always an excellent choice. However, this is a thieves guild. They are probably more skilled at it than we are.
I mean, I think it's worth a shot, and if it goes bottoms up, then we can go back to option B, which is just
Kill
what we
everyone.
usually do. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no doubt
Yes.
that it's going to end in bloodshed. But
think-
at least starting, trying to get in discreetly would
Hmm.
probably be the best, rather than
Yes.
alerting everyone in Waterdeep what we're doing.
Well, Waterdeep is a place with, I assume, quite a lot of water.
It is on the coast, yes.
There is also, I think, a irrigation system below the city.
Yeah, massive,
Tunnels.
massive aqueduct underneath Waterdeep.
Which could probably explain how the Thieves Guild gets around.
Mm-hmm.
I will say then, if my people were to reinforce our position there, it would not be open bloodshed on the streets like it was here.
Yes.
It would be a siege upon the aqueducts.
I think first it may be wise to acquire more information, and then if there is mobilization of units that is necessary, we can operate from there. But yes, going and rashly waging proper war is intensely political and would be very complicated. So, small strike team, after we get more information, I think would be the wisest route that I would recommend.
I think
I think in the meantime, I will call for a smaller team, not necessarily the bulk of the army, but enough that we are still keeping our people here
Mhm.
and we have backup when we arrive.
An elegant solution.
so. I believe going in with one option, but being prepared to back ourselves up with both.
Yes, a proper
Precisely.
plan B to our initial plan.
Yeah.
What fun.
Is there any other places that we need to stop by on our way? Really?
Your sister wanted me and you to go visit Askatla, though I'm not entirely sure you all want to go to a city filled with the undead and dealing with
Well,
their
that is-
politics.
Further south than Baldur's Gate, even.
Why would I fear the undead?
Not as they won't like you. They won't like Rika.
Now, Charybdis, I will say this.
Because we're rich?
Charybdis, I will say this. One thing that I think we had discussed was that the Golden Pearl, at one point, has gone to war with Athkatla.
Ah, okay.
That's
I
why
mean,
they
if we
won't
have
like
it
you.
because I haven't forgotten their name.
Yeah, it is because the reason they don't like you is because you've been to war with them, and they really
that checks out.
fucking hate lycanthropes.
Yeah, that also checks out. So
Yeah,
I'm two
Emery's
checks
going-
on the list.
Yeah, Emery's going through the Therian
Yeah,
kind of angle.
Wait, really?
yeah, you've sharked out before.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying that you were also a Therian.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, no. No, you. Emery is more concerned of Charybdis' well-being, not because Emery probably assumes or doesn't assume that you've gone to war with this kingdom, capital city, whatever.
Yeah.
Just assumes, yeah, your blood kind of pisses them off.
Well, they
Um,
can't have it.
I mean, we still have to go there, and going there just 2 people seems ill-advised.
Well, I will be coming with you if I'm able. But that is very far south, past Baldur's Gate, past Waterdeep, past the Westwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, at the moment, it's currently investigating a missing person case similar to yours. Albeit, we all assume, based on the clientele of the city, that they are no longer ones who walk in life.
So a mission of recovery for a body, most likely.
Most likely, or information how they gone down, who did it.
Unfortunate.
Or recovering a newly turned spawn.
Yeah.
It won't- Yeah.
And for
Um,
a political mention, it is Lady Audette's paramour.
Yep.
Oh,
So there is a gravity of seriousness, as she is second in control to the kingdom.
that does complicate matters.
Yeah, so we I assume after we hit the other places, we'll then
Sure.
have to deal with Athkatla.
No, you could call it Askathla. It's fine.
As- No.
It sucks. No,
No, I meant Athkatla.
no, you can make it worse. Your words will mean pretty little in that kingdom, and unfortunately, I have to talk, which I don't like doing.
I mean, I think it'll be okay. I think
I can do the talking if you'd like.
They
Luckily,
will
we have
try not to listen to you.
plenty of time, plenty of path between now and then, so everyone can practice talking.
Suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, just if we ever go, I will probably revisit this again. Try to stay in a 15-foot radius around me, because if you decide to leave the party, I cannot protect you.
Okay. So from south to north, Athkatla, Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep, the West Woods. Anywhere else we need to go?
Yeah, is there any other places that we need to head off to?
I do need to stop by Fandolin for a.
Is that my internet or is that Crow's internet?
Nope.
I think yeah, Crow cut out
That
at
was fully me.
Okay,
yeah.
just making sure.
Do I need to repeat
Yeah.
myself?
Yes, please.
Yeah. If you repeated yourself just now, we didn't hear a word of it.
Is that okay with everyone else if we take a slight detour to Vandalin before continuing on our way?
I don't see anything particularly wrong with it. What's going on over there?
Oh, you know, religious things. Have to go somewhere, meet someone of my order, kill him and take his title. You know, standard religious practice.
Standard.
Classic, yeah. I completely understand. I don't know why anyone else would be confused, but yeah, I get you.
Oh God, sorry. That got me to break character again.
You're okay.
Charybdis has been to Fendolin, right? Not
Yeah, you've been
necessarily on war, but
Yeah, you've been
for leisure.
Yeah, you were there. You went there with Blackstaff.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I'm remembering what places are and things.
It was like a
That makes
vacation
one of
spot
us.
for you.
I'm learning.
So Fandolin, Waters Deep, Baldur's Gate.
Vandalin, the West Woods, Waterdeep, Baldur's Gate.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry.
I think we're going by proximity because by urgency it would be very confusing and roundabout.
By urgency, I would argue Waterdeep, Athkatla, and then everything else.
But also that would be tedious and have less of circles.
Well, hopefully we can send some kind of advance guard to gather information at Waterdeep as we deal with the issue in Vandalin. And we can always circle back to the Westwoods. It is very near to Waterdeep, so... And Vandalin is
Yeah.
not too far off the high road, so day or two's journey, diversion.
I'll be calling for a infiltration team.
Exactly.
Let's hope that they provide helpful information and don't end up getting themselves killed.
Yes, precisely. Well, we have a route in mind. We have a plan.
As you say that, once again, another knock on the door of the dining hall. Except this time, the guard that in question does not wait to be let in. Miller Tassett,
Yeah.
older gentleman. You're the first guard you guys ever got here. You rescued him from the basement of the Temple of the Ever Changing. Human fighter man, almost died to that dragon when Gale's familiar got incinerated. Kind of comes in, and he's got like, it looks like it's been written on his hand almost, and he goes, Lord Mithrin Gale, Harry and Michaelis, and Ashton, acolyte and candidate for Hand of Cord. You have been cordially summoned to the Palace of the Hall of Justice by Lady Neverember, and yes, Sarah Emery, we did stop the messenger at the gate. They did not get inside.
All right, I suppose that is the end of breakfast for me then. Ashton, will you be coming along with, or would you like to?
Well,
Did Ashton just die? No, okay.
No, that
That
No,
was-
not me this time.
Hopefully the
Or would
recording's
you-
still gonna be good.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Or no, that wasn't Belle. That was
No,
Yes,
Void.
Jester.
Yeah.
The recording is still going. We are good to go.
Well,
Welcome.
Welcome back, Void. Are you
All
right.
alive?
So I had a bit of fourth wall break. I had web fishing going in the background.
Ah,
I went to tab out. And I don't know if it was the web fishing game freaking out, but it wouldn't let me tab over. It wouldn't let me.
Damn, Gridger fucking got you.
It it would not let me Control Alt Delete task end it. I think I still had fucking Spotify open.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to restart my computer. So sorry that I had to disappear all of a sudden. It wasn't because of anyone else. It was because of the computer.
Okay.
Well, great. You're back just in time for Gale to give you a little smooch on the cheek before he leaves.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, Ashton, are you going with? Gale?
I mean, he was cordially invited,
Yeah.
so he might as well. And also, title that he's never used before and will probably never outwardly use again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Tell me that title again, by the way.
An acolyte of the Harpers and a candidate for the and formal candidate for the Hand of Cord.
Aha.
So you know that whole we have to go to Phandalin, meet a guy from my religion, kill him, take his title. That's not a joke.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
literally how it works.
Yeah, no, I believe you. That's exactly how Charybdis is like used to.
Love it.
Great. Awesome. We're gonna go arm in arm, skip over to the castle. Besties.
Like two pounds.
We're happy together.
How should we get to the castle? It's like a day's ride.
So as you guys kind of get up, Miller will continue, and say, furthermore, the entirety of the party of the Heroes of Neverwinter are cordially invited to participate in the High Sun Games, a formerly banned, extremely dangerous team building exercise, as Lady Neverember put it. There is an airship waiting outside.
An airship
Yes.
for interesting.
The High Sun Games
Yes, my Lord Gale.
with the mortality rate of over 50%.
Yes.
Great.
The Lady Neverember is positive that that your group was strong enough to survive.
Almost as
You're not
positive as
scared,
the
are you, Gale?
mortality rate. Scared? Of course not. It's merely not very safe to invite several royals and dignitaries from other nations to engage in a potentially lethal game.
Well, clearly it's a challenge.
It wouldn't be the first time this has happened. Technically, there was what was his name? Saz Tam competed one year.
All right, we apparently all need to go.
I don't know about need to.
We're invited to.
At the very least, Ashton and I do need to go. We were specifically invited to engage in something else, and then there's the High Sun Games, which we've all been invited to.
And Gale starts muttering about politics stuff.
Ashton will give that signature bright smile that he's gotten used to using in the presence of current company. We're just being invited by a friend who probably wants to say hi, hang out with us. What is the worst that could happen?
I know that she has been very put upon by the planning of the banquet, and I feel as though this perhaps is punishment for that. In a
It
friend
will
way.
be fine. If
Mhm.
anything bad is going to happen on their watch, well, they will do their best to avoid it.
Yes, well, if they kill us, we can just make Blackstaff resurrect us.
He's not a
So they're
cleric.
there's a number of other wizards that will be very irate.
If you fall down, I did buy 2 sets of diamonds. So,
In the High Sun games, you cannot bring any of your items.
I also,
right. So that would only work for Rika. I
also
forget you
do
guys
believe,
can't do that.
I also do believe that Lady Neverember has, and this is still Miller. He's just kind of trying not to talk over you guys. That's why his voice quieted. And he goes, "I believe Lady Neverember also has people on standby to heal you folks if you die. Unlike Lord Nasher, who just kind of let people stay dead." Lady Neverember brought the games back, A, by request of the people, and B, in a much safer environment.
I did expect that.
Though I do hear that they got a really big gelatinous cube this year.
That alone is worth visiting for.
Yeah, little big slimy friend. Oh, are they actually perfect cubes like some books say?
Yes, they are. I've experienced quite a few of them, and he'll like slide the like pant leg of his right leg up, and his leg from like the foot up to his knee is all wood. Lost this
Ooh.
baby in a dungeon years ago to a gelatinous cube.
I will say, perfect squares are very hard to find. Even in created works, their shape tends to come from the cauldron that they were brewed in. So those ones are usually specialized.
Yeah, the big perfect square ones are made for like dungeon corridors and wizard towers and stuff like that. They're janitors, essentially.
Oh, like my little coin friends.
You hear the jingling in your purse of the coins.
I would advise against making friends of any gelatinous cubes we meet.
Why not?
Aw.
But if we want to collect some of the acidity from the gelatinous cubes, I would not be appalled by it.
Imri, I'm gonna make a poison out of that.
We can melt so much shit with this kind of stuff.
Yep. And Miller just kind of goes, I can escort you all out to the airship, and I can also have Rhea gather the food up in case you're still hungry.
Excellent suggestions. Everyone, shall we?
Sure.
Yes.
Let us go.
But yeah, you guys can kind of head out to the airship, and you are flown over. Rhea, your little ranger, castle guard comes with you as like an attendant, just to kind of carry your shit. And the airship does dock at the back of the Hall of Justice, so Gale and Ashton can kind of get out in the Hall of Justice, and the rest of you are kind of led out by Rhea, and she's just like, the Neverwinter Coliseum is being raised from the middle of the city. If folks would like, I can escort you. I know that you guys know your way around the city, but it's kind of my job. As I guess they called me an attendant today. I'm not super familiar with how this works. I've been a retainer for like a month or a couple of weeks now.
I mean, if
Lead
you
the
want to
way.
follow us, yeah.
And she'll nod and go, okay. And she'll follow you guys. Just so you guys are aware of kind of where Rhea came from, you guys,
Uh-huh.
she was hired on by Miller after the Battle of Blackgate. Rhea basically lost her home in the Battle of Blackgate, and he was like, hey, this person is a competent ranger. We can have, them being that we're being moved to the Neverwinter Wood anyway. This person can help, like, hunt and scavenge for food and keep nature around the thing healthy while Emery is away, and also can learn from Emery.
Emery also probably introduced them to Matilda and be like, okay, there,
Yes.
all right. Best two case scenarios. I could trust both of you, and probably gave Freya a lump sum of money very similar to Valor and be like, there you go. Now you don't have to really worry about too much. Just take care of the plants.
Hell yeah. But yeah, she'll absolutely. That's what she does. That's her job. She is the nature lady in your keep. She also is like a really competent guard, which is probably something that you guys as a group are not used to. Because Miller, he's old and he's missing a leg and he's not very good at what he does. And the other one is afraid of Emery because former Zentarum.
Great.
So Rhea
good.
is just a ray of sunshine and happy to be there.
Happy to be alive.
Yeah.
Ashton gives them a big ol' smile.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so you guys can we're gonna pan over to Ashton and Gale with Lady Neverember, and I do believe that'll be where we end session because it's almost midnight. Next session you will leave for Fandolin, I swear.
After
No.
the High Sun Game.
Yes,
I was like, don't
exactly.
swear it. Don't swear it.
Yeah.
For your safety, don't. Because we're
Yeah.
gonna. Because if it's gonna be the combat and then it's gonna be the High Sun games and then dinner, don't do that to yourself.
That's fair. Yeah. But yeah.
I was gonna say like yeah. I had the
Dinner
feeling.
with us.
Yeah. Very
Me?
award ceremony from the city of Neverwinter. Yeah. I
Oh,
also
really
as I'm gonna do two scenes really quickly because there was one other scene that I wanted to do kind of as you guys land at the Palace of Justice. Emery,
Yeah.
you are approached by, as you guys kind of land, by a tall woman in these like long, like they're flowing robes, but they're hides and leathers, and she's got this large, crooked, almost shillelagh looking staff. It's taller than she is. This is a human woman, dreadlocks kind of going down the back of the head. And you are and she kind of approaches you and goes, pardon me, Sarah Emery, may I, she's we, but it's the royal we. May
Yeah.
we speak with you?
Sure. I'll listen.
So, from the look of this person, kind of, because of the way Emery kind of knows nature and druids and stuff, this is an archdruid.
Yeah.
And she'll smile at you and goes, follow me. We need to discuss matters of the natural world. And she will lead you away. And you are led into a large atrium chamber, where a few grouping of people is sat around the table with people you would recognize as like Neverwinter Council members, but the Neverwinter Council members are kind of sat on the opposite side of the table of these what look to be very high-level adventurers, essentially, on the other side. A few of them are druids, a few of them are rangers. You've got a couple of paladins, but they obviously are of very high rank. And the archdruid will kind of turn around. She'll take a bow to you, and she will say, "I am Lady Nadia Hallwinter of the Lord's Alliance. I am also High Druid of the Spore Druids of the Underdark. It is a pleasure to meet you. And she will just give you a deep bow.
Pleasure to meet you too. Emery Nordvant of myself, Wildfire Druid for Zental Keep. I suppose if we're getting into titles.
Yes. About that. There is a matter I would like to ask of you as a Wildfire Druid. And she'll kind of cut a very pointed look over at the druids that are on the Neverwinter Council. Because there are a couple of them. One of them is a Circle of the Moon Druid. One of them is a circle of spores. And then there's another one, but I cannot remember the other circle. It's not Blight. It's not Wildfire.
Land,
Spores?
moon,
Yes, land.
land. Yeah, there's circled land. There's moon.
Yeah, it's a moon, a spore, and a land druid all sit on the Neverwinter Council.
And then a wildfire druid walks in.
Yeah, essentially. And then there's this archdruid of a circle of spores. It's kind of cutting this pointed look at these other three druids. The druids of this city have grown complacent. They have allowed nature to stagnate and not grow anew. I believe this to be a tragedy against nature itself. As we have seen from both the eruption of Mount Hatano and the flames of the fire plane unleashing themselves from the char wood, it is time for a change.
Emery nods their head.
And she kind of the tone of like she was very cordial when she was talking to you about like yourself, but kind of going into the like nitty gritty of like how angry she is in this moment. How angry she is in this moment. You see her kind of like almost clench her jaw as she like stops speaking, and she will kind of take a deep breath and then begin speaking again. There's a grove on the side of Mount Hatano. We have asked a rather powerful member of the more responsible of the arcane casters to create a shield to keep that grove from being covered in molten lava or deep frost. I would ask that you become the archdruid for this grove, to rebuild it and rebuild a circle of wildfire there. You do not have to stay there, as I do not stay with my circle, but I would ask that you recruit druids for it, and that you recruit those who would take care of nature to defend it.
I feel like Emery is giving like the oh great, I have to communicate more. Kind of look, like not a pained look, but just like a but nods her head and goes, okay, well you caught me on the I do not want, even if I do want to stay there. We have a matter of series of events that we have to take care of that leads to be away from this side of the map.
Of course. You would but need to pick a second, and they would obviously act in your stead.
Yeah, my second you probably all won't find thrilling.
Maybe not the Council of Neverwinter, but we in the Lord's Alliance supersede in matters outside of the city.
Yeah, it could be me, and then I assume Matilda would probably be inclined to, and then Rhea is already taking part of keeping our keep, so maybe could help at least here or there, but not a full accolade druid.
You see the the moon druid on the side of the Neverwinter Council go to stand up, and as they do, vines encase them and pull them back down into their seat. You say this Matilda is going to help you, or would it be willing to?
Potentially.
Then,
I could ask her.
if you would not mind, it is your choice as Archdruid to pick whomever you wish for your grove. The will of the Council of Neverwinter does not determine what needs to be done with that of the will of nature.
Am I not? Gives a look into the other druids in the sense of giving them a shrug, like I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, it's the very obvious thing of this very clearly more powerful druid is basically telling them they fucked up and now she's got to go elsewhere to find somebody that's willing to do what she needs it to do, because
Yeah.
the grove on Mount Hatano needs to regrow. If not, nature will fuck in balance wise.
Yeah. And then a plague will happen, a parasitic thing will happen, we'll
Exactly.
get into the Neverwinter Woods and destroy that, and
Frogs
they
falling
can't.
from the sky.
Yeah.
The ponds will turn into frogs gay.
It'll be a disaster. So it's the this archdruid basically going, I'm giving you the go ahead to build your own wildfire circle. You once it is built, you will be proclaimed archdruid, which means way down the line you will become an archdruid. And you can pick a second. And honestly, having Matilda as your second, being she's a conduit to the fire plane, probably a super good idea.
Yeah, it's just getting her to listen.
I mean,
Yeah.
at this
You are her
point,
mother,
you are the
technically.
only person she trusts.
Yeah, I guess everyone will put on their mom voice.
Yeah, you are the
Listen.
one person who has gained Matilda's trust in this entire deal.
Listen, it's fine. Her and I are we're fine. We're pals, but we're not friends.
And so
We're strong enough to kill her if she does fuck up. So
yeah, exactly. And so as the Spore Druid will kind of take a deep breath as she was, very clearly Imri's very perceptive, could see
yeah.
this woman was getting pissed. And she kind of relaxes and goes, should you accept, I offer this. And she opens her hand and out blooms this beautiful fucking scimitar. As if coming out of nowhere. It's this beautiful, jade green bladed scimitar with a curved knuckle guard and a swirled guard that comes up above the wrist. And she will offer it to you, and she goes, if you should accept your position, I will offer this for you.
Could Emery ascertain what exactly is being presented beyond fancy ceremonial?
Yeah, if you want to roll me a nature check at advantage.
I have an approximate knowledge on nature.
Of many things.
Phil the human boy.
Unnamed druid.
I named Druid.
I try to see if any of my ranger stuff helps me with this. No, it is only when I'm in my favorite terrain. I get bonuses.
What is your favorite terrain?
Forests.
You are in a forest. Neverwinter is surrounded by forests.
Not called the Neverwinter Wood for nothing.
Yeah, Neverwinter is surrounded
Oh, I already
by
have.
forests and woodland.
It doesn't matter. I already have advantage.
Advantage,
I don't know
yeah.
why I was asking for super advantage. It's only a 13.
So, what you get from this is there is a pull to it almost the same way you get when you go toward the Charwood. There is something that is connected to the elemental plane of fire within this blade.
Every under the pretense of representing nobility and in a room full of people they do not care but have a level of importance as well will not decline it
Okay.
and will accept the scimitar.
Okay, so I will get you what the actual scimitar does and kind of put it
Yes.
onto your sheet. But this is the scimitar of wildfire. Essentially, what it's going to
Okay.
do is it's going to it does extra fire damage, and it gives you basically it allows you to cast one fire spell for free every day. Like it doesn't matter which one, but if the spell does fire damage, you can just cast it once a day without having to expend a spell slot. It could be
On the
fireball.
druid spell list.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, your spells that you know,
Okay.
essentially.
Not Caleb Widowgast's web of fire. Oh, tragedy.
I mean, well, we can talk about it, but yeah, no, but yeah, this blade is essentially a +2 scimitar that does some extra fire damage. I'll put it on your sheet, but yeah, this is kind of to replace the stock that you lost.
Yes. Yes, is it. Yeah, Emery will take it and then go. I will do my best, but like I said, I am currently moving around. But luckily I know tree strides, so I can hop in, say hi, check in on the places before going back to everyone around.
Yes. And there will be a shield placed around your grove by Mordenkainen, one of the more trusted of the arcane spellcasters. I hear he has a new apprentice that will be helping him do so.
Cool. Exciting. I say this with all the love in my heart. And then, yeah, if any of you other druids have beef with me, we could duke it out in the woods.
it's the circle of the moon druid, just kind of very huffy. She's this
Yes.
Oh my god, it's Huffy. I have to fight
Oh my
her.
god!
Shit.
She's a goblin woman. She's kind of tall for a goblin, but she's a goblin.
Yeah.
Antlers coming out of long pink flowing hair, wearing hides.
Literally me. I see how it is.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's gonna be but yeah, you have been appointed Archdruid of the Circle of Fire in this area. Congratulations, Emery.
And also, she won't.
What was that? My internet. I think my internet cut real hard.
No, that's
No.
everybody's.
That's my bad. My internet's also freaking out. It's that and Emery also boldly declaring to the carrots, you won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
She won't.
So if we get, attacked in the middle of the road by druids,
Druids.
Emery's gonna be like, "Fuck yeah, we're throwing down."
It's time to
Yeah.
throw fucking hands. Okay, so before we finish session, we are going to cut over to Gale and Ashton as you are escorted into the chamber of the throne room of the Palace of Justice. Lady Neverember is sitting there, very frazzled looking, very stressed, and very much sitting there going, I have done so much for so long.
Yes, you have, and you are now throwing the High Sun Games.
Yes, no, that is something for me. That is a fun little treat for me.
I'm glad that you will enjoy it.
I get to throw you in a maze. Ashton, it is good to see you. And she'll kind of bow to Ashton.
He will give a cordial bow back. It is a pleasure to see you as well. How are you doing? Well, you just answered. You are stressed as shit.
Yes, exactly. However, you are going to do me the favor of helping fix that.
By perishing in your maze.
Well,
Still needs Cordian therapy, my friend.
no. I get to watch Cordian therapy happen. The opening of the High Sun Games is always kicked off by an exhibition fight. I have chosen you two to be that exhibition fight.
The two of us?
Yes, against one another.
I could hardly hold up in a fight against Ashton.
I know.
Have you seen him in a fight?
I am aware. I have money bet on that, as a matter of fact. The only person I know that I've told about this that didn't bet against you, Gale, was a man named Miller Tassett. Says he works at your keep.
Yes, he does. Well, I'll
Apparently
have
has
to
a
give him
year's
raise.
worth of salary on you winning.
Oh.
I will reimburse him if I do not. Mhm.
So, at the beginning of the High Sun Games, the two of you will be introduced. It will not be to the death. Though,
I should hope not.
well, people have accidentally died in the exhibition fight before.
People have accidentally died. Accidentally is such a way of putting it when it is the High Sun Games.
Yes, exactly. Spells are not off limits. Your abilities, Ashton, are not off limits. Weapons are not off limits. And if you do die, which that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make, I will have a cleric revive you.
We greatly appreciate your sacrifice, my lady. Although I suppose if spells are indeed allowed, Ashton, you may be in for a fight after all.
Oh, I would be disappointed if I wasn't, my friend. You all know me. I'm willing to, if it means a good fight, I'm willing to. If we set the bar low enough, I will begin, how some people have described as limbo dancing. I should hope you will do the same courtesy for me.
I believe I have gotten mixed up in your metaphor, my good friend.
Long story short, treat it like a street fight. There is no honor, there is no glory. You're just looking to knock me the fuck out.
That's exactly what I like to hear. I will
Sure.
likely have to cast Hold Person on your significant others, dear Mithrin Gale, as to not, I am more,
I'm certain they will
I am
restrain
more-
themselves.
I was going to say, I am more inclined to think that Rika would knows not to interfere, and would probably laugh if I had to guess.
She would be amused by seeing me getting beaten to a pulp, I'm certain.
Leonidas
I mean,
on the other
As
So
long
long
as-
as it is not lethal.
As long as she's informed.
Yeah, well,
Two.
Rika will be informed. Leonidas, on the other hand, is a little more flies off the handle more easily. Rika at least has some decorum.
You will not need to resort to magic with him. It will be fine.
Not that I really think I can. Doesn't he have like some dispel charm on his armor or something nonsense?
Yes, there are some things he is capable of. However, I would ask that you do not do that as well.
Okay, I will not. I will just ask him very politely to stay in his seat.
Yes, and that is all that shall be necessary, as I'm certain that, with my spells and sword allowed me, I will not be the one getting beaten to a pulp.
We shall see.
It is always nice to hear that my friends have a sense of humor.
It is so nice to see your optimism as well.
Crow, take a point of that. Son of a bitch. You made me break.
Yes! Do we get a hero point?
It's
High five.
inspiration. You get inspiration.
Good job.
You can pull 3 of them for yourself, and then everything else goes over into like a company pool. Oh my
Hey.
goodness!
Wait, don't I get inspiration for giving the recap earlier?
Yes, I told
Yeah.
you did.
You did?
Yeah, I said that.
Oh,
So,
Oh,
Lynx,
I
how much
didn't know-
inspiration do you have banked up?
well, before I was just told that after 3 it goes into a pool. The number I had on my sheet was 8.
Yeah. So you have 5 extra in the pool. 6 now
6
because of
now.
yeah. But yeah.
I've never had more than one.
Thank you, Crow. I think that is where we will pan out from tonight's session. Is the line of Ashton going, "I'm glad to know my friends have a sense of humor. Love that shit." This may be me shooting myself in the foot, but if any other player characters would like to participate in the exhibition, it can be a 2-on-2.
I mean,
Would you like
if,
a buddy?
I was
You
both,
could use a buddy.
both Huffy and I going. Eyeball emoji.
Yeah,
Literally
wanna
just,
fight?
hey, I heard there's violence. Can I join?
Yeah. But yeah, thank you everybody for playing. Thank you everybody at home for watching. We're gonna go ahead and cut the session. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to watch all of my videos. And fuck you, Dave.
Look.
Bye, Dave.
Fuck you, Dave.